Hi there, it's Mr. Smith, and in this video I will be giving you a video tour of eCampus and MyLab Math, which we also call MyLab. That's its old name. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, you can see that when you first enter our course, which is Math 1332-22G12, you will be on the announcements page. So you're going to want to read the announcement here. It'll tell you everything you need to know to get started so that you know what's expected in this course and you can get started on the homework. So make sure you read this. And the first thing it's going to tell you to do is go to the syllabus. Now, I made the syllabus video, but I haven't linked it yet. It'll be up there shortly, but you can click on there, and in that video I basically go through the syllabus as if I was with you in class, but to save time in class, I just do the video. But you're going to want to click on syllabus and calendar, and again, you should print this out. I would encourage you to read it carefully, make a note of anything that you want to make sure you remember, important things, maybe a note of any questions you might have. And when you get to the very end, you'll find a calendar. I highly suggest that you have that handy as you're doing assignments. You'll never have any question about what's expected each week. It's all right there. There may be some minor adjustments, but we'll stick pretty close to the calendar, and you'll see due dates and all that kind of stuff. All right, so once you've taken care of reading the syllabus, by the way, I should point out one more thing here. If you're new to college and you want to get more information about what a syllabus is, this is something the college put together and you can read that. So that's everything there. The next thing that the announcement will tell you is to click on Start here. And notice instructions for getting started. Read the introductory announcement, we already talked about that. Read the syllabus, we've talked about that. Confirm your email address. This is where you can go to change your email address in eConnect if you need to do that. Again, it's just important that you're getting all your communications from your instructors, which are going out to your email in eConnect. It's important that you're getting those. So if that's a problem, make sure you take care of that. And then now it's time to go to lessons and assignments, and you can start doing the course assignments. Notice there's going to be a video tour of eCampus and MyLab there. That's what we're doing here. Let's see. Instructor information. This is all my information as also indicated on the syllabus. When I change or when I put in the office hours, those will be here. I'll also update the syllabus. This here is just telling you about the menu over here. So notice course information, communication tools. This is just telling you about those menus and what you should find there. There's technology requirements if you need to make sure your computer has everything it needs in order to run the programs you're going to use at the college and your classes. And there's some tips for success you may want to check out. And so that's everything that's on the Start Here page. So the next thing you're going to do is go to Lessons and Assignments. But before we do that, I just want to show you the other menu items. So up here, actually I should put your view on. This is my view. So notice there's a link for learning materials. If you click there, that should tell you all the learning materials for your courses. Mine's going to look different than yours. And then the next link we should look at is check my grades. After each test, I'll update grades in eCampus. And so this is where you'll have the most accurate indication of your current grade. What you see in MyLab will be approximate, but it's not going to be exact just because of some of the settings in MyLab. And anyway, so this is where you want to go to see how you're doing. Announcements, we were already there. If you need to email me, you can click here. Discussion board, we won't be using in this course. Student services, these are all the different main services that are available to you. You should check out this page and see what's in there. We do a lot to help our students. A lot of things are there that, like for example, food bank, and you can see there's all sorts of information here. So again, look through that, make sure you know what's in there. So if you ever need it, you know where to go. And let's see, we have technical help. So, and if you have issues with eCampus or eConnect or general questions, there's a number here. And there's some other support as well. You can see stuff over here. So again, check it out, see what's there. And if you need it, it'll be available to you. And then you'll see a MyLab or MyLab Math link. This is one way that you can go directly to the MyLab links where you're going to be doing your homework. We're going to be going in through lessons and assignments. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is the video that I'm currently making for this semester. And then if you click on the MyLab links, these are all the links for MyLab. Oops, it looks like I need to take out some duplicates. Anyway, the first thing you're going to want to do is run the browser check. When you click on this, it's going to make sure that your computer has everything it needs to run MyLab and all its features. And so you're going to want to do that. Anytime you have issues with MyLab, it's always a good idea to go back and rerun the browser check. That may fix a problem. Assignments is normally where you're going to be going. You spend a lot of time there. But let's go look at the other links first. We've got eText. So this is your textbook, which we know is online. You also will have access to your textbook when you're doing the homework. I'll show you that in a little bit. So here you can click on the table of contents and you can go to whatever chapter you want and section. You have access to everything you would have if you actually had the physical book. Now you can't see the whole screen of the book here, but that's because I've made the window small for this video. But this is how you go forward or backward. If you click here, you can print out a page. Unfortunately, it only lets you print one page out at a time. All right, so that's the book. The next one is grade book. Again, the grade book here, it's going to tell you your grades on your individual homework assignments and quizzes. It'll have a calculation of each of the different categories. But again, because of the settings in MyLab, these scores aren't going to be accurate at certain times especially. So make sure you focus on the eCampus grades. That's where you're going to know exactly where you're at. Multimedia library. So as you're working through MyLab and doing your assignments, you're going to see a lot of these resources, but you can always go to the multimedia library at any time and go, let's say, chapter 5. We want the resources for section 5.3. Let's select all. So these are the things that are available to you as part of having MyLab. So you can see you have PowerPoint notes for section 5.3. You have the textbook section. You can go there and you can read. You can look at examples there. And then these are all the videos that come with the book. All right, so that's multimedia library. Integration support, you'll only need to go there if for some reason you have issues with MyLab during the semester. They may have you go in there to give them information in order to help you. MyLab Math purchase options, that's if you want to get a copy of the book, a physical copy. It will cost $60, so most people choose not to do that. Accessible resources, if you're concerned about accessibility, I would encourage you to click there. And then again, these are repeats, so I'll have to get those out of there. All right, so we're ready to go into assignments. Again, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. And you can see these are all the assignments for the first week. So you have transitioning to college. You know, if you're new to college and you want to see some tips about making that transition, this is a nice little video. How to enter answers in MyLab. I say it's optional because most students do a pretty good job these days. They're pretty savvy with technology. But if you find yourself having any issues entering answers, I would encourage you to watch that. And that'll be available throughout the semester. Also, if you're new to the multi-view calculator, this is an introduction to it. All right, so that's just some of the introductory things that are available. So here's all your assignments. Notice for each assignment, you have a videos section. And the nice thing is you're going to have, you're going to be coming to class and we'll present lessons in class. But if for some reason you miss a class or maybe you just didn't really get it or you needed to look at it again, you can go back to the videos. Let's go ahead and look at section 2. So these are actually there, especially for my online students. This is everything you need to learn the material on your own. But for students in face-to-face classes, these are nice supplements to have, again, if you're absent or you just need more help. So the ones that say 1T are the ones that I've made, and normally they're just like what you see in class when I do a lesson. And so those are the ones I recommend if you miss a class. And then these are the videos that come with the book. And then you'll notice you also have PowerPoint notes and the textbook section. You can click here and go right to that section. You can read through examples. So you have a lot of options to help you learn the material, especially if for some reason you missed class or you just really struggled with the material. All right, so that's the lecture section, or the video section. Whoops, I messed up. Let's see, assignments. So let's actually do, or go to section 1.2. And why don't we go to question 6? So you can see you can click here to start, or you can click here to start, and it'll take you to question 1. Once you're into the homework, you can see there's a lot of ways to get around. You can click on the questions here. You can arrow to the next question. There's also these 3 bars, horizontal bars, and they give you the whole menu of all the different questions. So there's something here a couple of things I want to show you here. First of all, so here we're supposed to round to the nearest thousandth, and I'm just going to do this totally wrong a couple of times. So 1.7, check answer. Of course, that's wrong. Let's go ahead and put in 1.6. Of course, I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, so it's definitely going to be wrong. And I'm just going to notice you get 3 shots, and normally that's how it works. You get 3 chances. So we're going to click on Final Chance. Notice it tells me the correct answer and the answer that I gave. And at this point, I have an option to either get a similar problem, or I can move on to the next question. Or similar question, or I can move on to the next question. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Next Question. And notice we got a red X there. And now we're on number 7. The thing is, you can work through the assignment and then go back and fix any problems that you got wrong. So let's go back and let's click on Similar Question. So round to the nearest thousandth, that's going to be 1.854. Check answer. Notice now I have a green check mark, and it'll take me to the next question. And you can see now question 6 has been marked correct. So the point of all this is if you're willing to go back and correct any wrong answers that you put in, you can get 100% on every homework assignment. And that's what I encourage students to do. At the very least, shoot for 80%. But if you're willing to put in the time, you can get 100% on every assignment. And I usually have students that do that every semester. Of course, they end up doing quite well in the class. So look at below here, you've got some options. Help me solve this. If you click on that, it'll help you solve this problem, and then it'll give you a new problem. If you like this problem, then, because sometimes you'll find the numbers in my MyLab are a little unacceptable, I'll just say. And so sometimes I'll come back into the problem and it'll give me a new one and it'll be a better problem. So you may not want to change the problem, so you may just view an example. So you can go through that. It'll take you step by step through an example, and then it'll come back to this problem and you can do this problem. Now sometimes there's more options down below, but if not, the last place to the right it says get more help. Notice we can click on textbook and that'll take us to this section in the textbook, and we can always look at a similar example if there is one. StatCrunch we won't be using. Sometimes you may find videos in here or other resources like simulations, which are basically just videos too. But you can also click on Ask My Instructor. The nice thing, especially if you have a word problem or maybe a problem that has a graph involved with it, it sends me the problem, and then it also sends in the question that you ask, that you type into this box. And so you can send that to me. Sometimes students will do that on the weekend, and if I'm able to get to it, I'll respond right away. Otherwise, I'll put it this way, I'll get to it as quickly as I can. It just kind of depends on what's going on that weekend. But that is a way that you can get help. Sometimes I'm up at like 10 o'clock at night and somebody will send something, and if I'm not busy, I'll just send a response right back. So this is another option for getting help with questions. Let's see, last thing I want to show you, notice it says save here. It's always a good idea to save before you leave, but it does have an auto save feature. I just don't, and I believe it's pretty frequent. Like when you go from one problem to the next, like question 6 is already saved, but it's always a good idea to save before you leave. The other thing I would show you here is there's another a button for accessibility if you're concerned about that. It'll give you some information about that. You can also print out your homework. I would just warn you that I haven't talked to any students lately, but I know some time back I had some students that they printed out the homework, they did the problems, but when they came back into my MyLab, the problems were different. So just be careful. If you could give me an update on how that's working, I'd sure appreciate it if anybody is doing that, using that print feature. Sometimes people just print out one problem, sometimes they print out the whole assignment. Okay, so I think that's everything I want to show you. If you have any questions, just get back to me. That's it for this video.